Welcome to the channel. I'm trying to be a little quiet because today I'm at Evergreen Cemetery, which is in Saint Augustine, Florida. It's actually about 1.5 miles outside of the city center. This cemetery, it dates back to 1886 and was actually sort of the rural cemetery in Saint Augustine when they stopped burying folks in the local urban cemetery because of overcrowding. Lots of trees, lots of green space, some old graves, dating back to the late 19th century. I've always wanted to explore this place. Some really cool headstones and interesting things to see. So I'm gonna walk around and show you guys Evergreen Cemetery in Saint Augustine, Florida. So this cemetery was actually founded in 1886. So these are some of the oldest graves. This is Rachel. It's hard to see because it is a little bright out here. It's about midday. Wish I had my flashlight. Wife of Alfred Bury, born in Lancashire, England, December 10th, 1859, died October 13th, 1886. Sacred to the memory of Paul Arnau, born March 10th, 1827, died June 7th, 1886. And it's got this Confederate States of America iron cross here at the head of it. So I'm assuming that he was a veteran of the Confederacy. Robert Tarbo, 1884, died in October 8th, 1884. So this is the grave of the most famous resident here at Evergreen Cemetery in Saint Augustine. It's the grave of Randolph Caldecott. So Randolph Caldecott, you may have heard that name, Caldecott. He is the namesake for the Caldecott Medal for kids' books for artists. The Caldecott Medal, commissioned in 1938, was named in honor of English illustrator, artist, and sculptor Randolph Caldecott. It is awarded annually by the Association for Library Service to Children, American Library Association, to the artist of the most distinguished American picture book for children, published during the preceding year. As a tribute to his life and art, this burial site is designated a literary landmark by the Friends of the Library. He was ill for most of his adult life, and so one of the things that people used to do in the 19th century was go to nicer climates. It was supposed to help with illnesses, and so Caldecott came to Saint Augustine seeking out the climate here, which a lot of people did. So he died here in 1886 and he was buried here. He was one of the first, I think within the first 20, 30 folks buried here in Evergreen Cemetery. He's an Englishman, but his final resting place was here in Saint Augustine. So rest in peace, Randolph Caldecott. George Walton, born in North Carolina, September 15th, 1804, died in Saint Augustine, June 15th, 1886. Mary Ann Walton, his wife, January 6, 1820, died November 30th, 1892. Erected by her children. Our dear little ward. This must be a child's grave. It's got a pedestal with branches, leaves, like a vine. And on the top, a scroll with a flower. The work on this is just amazing. SCF, maybe? Sarah C. Fairbanks. In the communion of saints, she is still with us. Oh, and there's more writing. Wife of George R. Fairbanks, a faithful wife, a loving mother, and a devoted follower or member of Christ. And on this side, died March 22nd, 1858. This is an early one. I don't know the story of this one, but you know, based on what I read, this predates the establishment of the cemetery, so maybe she was moved here, or this was already here. I need to know more about the cemetery, and unfortunately, there's not a lot out there online. Full of good works and alms deeds. It's an interesting last name. Greatorex. Eunice Walton, the loving wife and mother, September 4th, 1940 or 1843. Is that right? Gosh. Yep. November 21st, 1921. Greatorex. Another Greatorex. This must be a child's grave. June 20th, 1889. Bubba. Bubba. And then FH Greatorex. I guess I'm saying that right. Grand Army of the Republic, 1861 to 1865. It is over. The race is run. Round about the angels hover. The battle fought. The victory won. Home in sight. Yes, all is over. So this is a Union veteran. July 11th, 1846, November 27th, 1905, FH Greatorex. And what is characteristic of that style of rural cemetery are these sort of breathtaking vistas, these winding paths, these ornate obelisks and monuments to the dead. These types of cemeteries all over the country actually served as parkland, and a lot of times they were used for gatherings, social gatherings. You know, people would picnic, bring their families here, and it was like going to a park. In loving memory of Lawrence Courtney Jones, 2nd Lieutenant Air Corps, Army of the United States, lost in action over the Adriatic off the coast of Termoli, Italy, September 3rd, 1943. Wow. Other than Caldecott and Canfield, who is, well, I'll show you his grave in just a minute. Those are really the two sort of national figures, and they're, you know, sort of pseudo-national figures. Most of the people that are buried here are, you know, obviously locals. This cemetery holds just a huge part of the family history of the city of Saint Augustine. So if you If you know the city of Saint Augustine, these names are very familiar to you. C.W. Cook, August 14th, 1888, age 30 years. And he was not, for God took him. And he was not, for God took him. And he was not, for God took him. In memory of Henrietta, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. E. Boyce, born January 20th, 1895, died April 14th, 1898. So, 3-year-old, sad little stone. Heath Canfield, Medal of Honor, Private Company C2, U.S. Cavalry, Indian Wars, 1849 to 1913. And Canfield was involved in a skirmish in Nebraska where he and several other soldiers were out scouting, looking for horses, and were sort of at one point surrounded by like 50 Native Americans, and somehow managed to escape. And so he was awarded the Medal of Honor for that skirmish during the Indian Wars of the late 19th century. So as you can see on that side of this stream, there's newer graves, and it's split off by this stream. It's unfortunately a little more than like a drainage. And I think it might be the headwaters of something. And like everything, it likely flows out into the intercoastal and then into the ocean. Let's see if we see any gators. And speaking with the lady that works here, she was also saying that one of these sections may be over there on the other side, or maybe here. One of these areas, I'll have to look at the map, was the area where for years they would bury paupers. And so I guess there's a lot of burials in this one particular area where there's no headstones. That's where they would bury the poor and no families, people who died in jail. Who knows the stories. Stillborn, like this for example. Patricia Evelyn Turlington, stillborn. I think this area is, I think she was telling me this is an area for infants. And so there's a lot of little graves for babies. More of the land motif stones. Oh, Robert V. Collier, 1939 to 1942. Our darling baby boy. There he is. Sad. Oh, here's a interesting one. Another log-like thing. Mother, Susan Wiley, 1857 to 1918. It's a strange one. Like a log. Like a Lincoln log. So this one is quite striking. Cacaba family plot. Maybe the most ornate monument in the cemetery. And I saw this little one right here, which is pretty neat. What is azalea? Can't tell what it says. Clore, LA, son of George and Fanny Howard. Born April 22nd, 1885. Died February 5th, 1886. Asleep. So a child's marker, child grave. More than a year. Thanks so much for walking around the Evergreen Cemetery with me here in Saint Augustine. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Give me a follow. I'm gonna hope to make some more of these videos and sort of cut my teeth on this. This is all sort of new to me, but there's a lot to see where I live and as I travel. I'd like to share it with you guys. So like and subscribe. Give me a comment. Let me know how things are going, what you'd like to see here in Florida. If you got any suggestions for places I should visit, love to hear from you. Have a great day.